We are discussing mathematical reasoning. So, mathematical reasoning in normal language or in normal conversation, normal life, the difference between human being and the other species is we have the power, ability of reasoning. I'm not saying that the other species don't have it. They have it, but the power of ability of reasoning is with us. That is how we are ruling the world, not the animals, the other species. So that is how we vary distinction. That is, we say someone is an IITian, someone is from a private college. Like this is what we say. That is, we see the ability to reasoning as IQ level or kind of reasoning, that is finding out things from something which is there. So two types of reasoning are there: inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning. Two type of reasoning we are going to talk about in mathematical language. We have already seen about mathematical induction. In mathematical induction, basically it was inductive reasoning. So if it is true for say 1, then for x plus 1, it is true for x and x plus 2, then we say, oh, it will be true for every x. This is inductive reasoning. We are talking about deductive reasoning. So whenever we talk about mathematical reasoning, we are deductive reasoning we are discussing. For example, it's raining or it's rained. What do? We have to take the umbrella. So this is how we deduce things. You will not find any animal who will take umbrella or make even an umbrella. This is what reasoning we have. So before we go ahead, let us see certain terms that I'll be using again and again. First is statement. So English statement first we'll talk about, and then I'll tell you what about the mathematical statement. So whenever we discuss, or multiple people are discussing, we say certain things. We say statements, okay, in different ways, different ideas and thoughts we share. But our way of sharing these ideas and thoughts depending upon the situation, what kind of scenario we are talking. I'm not talking about English here. I'm talking about communication. Communication between two people, multiple people. How do we talk? In what way we talk? What are the behavior? So let me start with the assertive sentence. What is an assertive sentence? It's also called as a declarative sentence. So this sentence is very important because this is going to be final mathematical statement, right? So just understand this. When a sentence that makes an assertion is called an assertive sentence, or you are declaring something, that is a declarative sentence, right? For example, I am Raja, I am a king. This is a assertive sentence. For example, Mars supports life. So the Mars is one of the planet and it has life. This is you are asserting something. You are declaring something. So this is assertive, right? Please be very attentive. Assertive sentence is going to come again. Second is imperative sentence. Imperative sentence, here a sentence when you are requesting something. Please give me this, please bring me that, or a command. Do this, why haven't you done this? Please do this. Okay. So request or command, this is called imperative sentence. I'm writing everything in short just because I don't want to take a lot of time. So writing in WhatsApp language. So please bring me a cup of tea. This is imperative sentence. One more type of sentence is exclamatory or exclamatory sentence. So the sentence that expresses some strong feeling. Sometimes you get frightened, sometimes you get very happy. These are the strong feelings, and this is called an exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory sentence. For example, oh, how big is this whale fish? So this is a kind of exclamation. So you put an exclamation mark before it. Sometimes you just ask question. That is a sentence which is called as an interrogative sentence. interrogative sentence. So a sentence that asks some questions is called as an interrogative sentence. For example, what's your age? Where do you live? What do you have in your pocket? Have you done your work? These are all interrogative sentence. I'm writing it all in short, right? Now, so these are the sentences. Have you known about the sentences? Yes, it's an interrogative sentence. Okay. As I said, assertive. So what is a statement? Now coming to a statement or a proposition is an assertive or declarative sentence which is either true or false but not both. Let me tell you, now I am talking about mathematics, now I am talking about mathematics statement, now I am talking about mathematic proposition. So please hear me again. A statement or a proposition is an assertive or a declarative sentence which is either true or false but not both. But not both. Statement can only be assertive sentence. If you talk about imperative, exclamatory, interrogation, no, that cannot be a statement. A statement or a proposition is an assertive or a declarative statement only. And the thing is, either it is true or false, but not both. Okay, let me tell you again. A statement, or we are calling it as a proposition, is assumed to be either true or false, and we are saying it to be either assertive sentence or a declarative sentence. It can be true or false, but cannot be true, cannot be together, either or, right? If a statement is true, if I say you something and which is always true, which is true, is a valid statement, is a valid statement. Now I am telling you about two types of statement. A valid statement is statement which is always true or which is true. But a statement which I say and it happens to be false, it is wrong, that is called as an invalid statement. Please understand, statement cannot be true or false together. It can be either true or false, but not both together. And when it is both, that is true and false together, okay, then we call it as a paradox. Okay, so the fact that it cannot be both true or false at the same time, that is either true or false but not both, this is called law excluded middle. Law of the excluded middle. Law of the excluded middle. But if certain sentence is there, as I just mentioned, a sentence which is both true and false simultaneously is not a statement. It is a paradox. A sentence, is it possible? Anything is true also and at the same time it is false also? Can it be true? If it is, then it is a paradox. Paradox. Okay? Okay, we'll take certain example and try to understand it more. First statement I am writing, these are a certain illustration I am giving. First sentence is 2 plus 3 is 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. What is 2 plus 3? This is a proper statement because it is an assertive and declarative statement. It's a declarative statement basically. So 2 plus 3 is actually 5. So this is a statement. To be precise, it is a valid statement. Valid statement. Now I'm going to the second one. The earth is a star. Now this is coming from physics, so you can answer it in a different way. Some people will say earth is a star, but we don't. Earth is not a star, we say earth is a planet. Okay? So actually, we are saying that this is a declarative statement, but the statement is false. Earth is not a star. Earth is a planet. So now, though we have a declarative and an assertive statement, this is basically a declarative statement, a sentence, it is false. But it is a statement. It is a statement. So we call it as a statement. Okay. Let me tell you again. Even if it is false, assertive or declarative, even if it is false, then also it is a statement because it is an invalid statement. Okay. So Earth is a star is true for some people, but for most of the people, Earth is a planet. I'll give you one more example relating to the first one. Same thing, right? Now coming to 3 plus 4 is 6. 3 plus 4 is 6. No, it's wrong. But it's a statement. This is a statement. It's declarative. It is a statement, but it is an invalid statement. So mathematically, first and second, whichever I said, they are a statement. Though one is true, other may be false. The third one I'm illustrating. Okay. Switch on the light. Switch on the light. So this is an imperative sentence. I am giving you certain request or a command. So when you are giving request or you are giving some command, it's an imperative sentence. So this is not a statement. This is not a statement. Again, understand, requesting and commanding is the category of imperative sentence which cannot be a statement, mathematical statement. Coming to one more illustration. Okay. Let me ask you, how are you? Where are you going? Is every set finite? Where is your pen? Okay. Where is a pen is you are asking a question. So this is an interrogative sentence. This is an interrogative sentence. An interrogative sentence cannot be a statement. Though it is a statement in normal English, but in mathematics it's not a statement because it is interrogative. Okay. Now coming to the next discussion. The next discussion is negation, negative of a statement. When we learned about statement, we have already understood about the statement. What about negative of a statement? Negative of a statement means denial of a statement. For example, if you have a statement, I'm writing in ST for statement. So if you say P is a statement, I want to do a negation. How do I represent it in mathematics? So I'll put a tilde sign in front of P. We'll read it as not P. We'll read it as not P. So how do we make it? So there are certain English language or sentences we can form. We can say no. For example, it is not the case. You can start by this. Or you can say it is false. It is false that. Then also you are saying no to something which has been said. So it is not the case is also saying no. It is false that. This is also a way of saying no. Or you can say not a. It's not. So I'll give you a sentence. And this not a statement. Basically it's a sentence. It's a statement. So I'm giving you a statement now. And the statement is all integers are rational numbers. All integers are rational numbers. Don't go in whether it is correct or not. Actually, it is correct. True or false, if you want to see, it's true. But don't go about true or false. Negation means whatever is said, you do negation. If you take 2 divided by 1, everything is a rational number. All integers are actually rational numbers. Now I'm going to negate it. So I'm putting a tilde sign on P. So it is not the case that all integers are rational numbers. It is not the case that all integers are rational numbers. So this P, I have negated it. Denial. Again, let us see another form. It is false that all integers are rational numbers. So this is also a negation. This is also a negation of P. And we can give one more form, that is in English language we can say no in different type. For example, at least one integer is not a rational number. Is not a rational number. So all these sentences are the denial of P. All integers are rational number, so we negated it. So we can have a negative number sentence also. We can negate it. So negative means positive. So you will get the actual sentence. I'll give you an example with numbers now. See, we have a statement P, and this statement is saying 7 is greater than 9. Now you know 7 is not greater than 9. So don't worry about the validity of this, or true or false. Only negative P will be simply 7 is not equal to 9. Or in other way you can say not P means 7 is, this is greater than, so you say less than equal to 9. So these both are the negation of this statement. We are not going to whether 7 is greater than 9 is true or false. We are saying whatever is given, we are negating it. We are denying it. We are saying no to it. So we have to say it in a sentence or mathematical formation. Now come to a very important part of this mathematical reasoning, which is called the compound statements. Compound statement is the combination of statements, simply. Okay. See, simple statements, what did I say? Any statement whose truth value does not explicitly depend on another statement is said to be a simple statement. A simple statement was simple assertion or a declarative sentence. It was a statement. So simple statement, as I just said, that any statement whose truth value, correctness or its negativeness does not explicitly depend on the another statement. If we have a statement, it has certain parts and one is depending on the another. Okay, so it is not a simple statement. A simple statement is only when we have a simple statement, we don't want to further divide it because it's giving certain meaning and one is not affecting other. Or one truth does not say the other is false. For example, if I say 2 plus 5 is less than 4. So this is a simple statement. This is a simple statement. But when I talk about compound statement, so we are not talking about one statement. For example, let me give you an example. If it rains, then the school may be closed. So I am saying if a statement is a combination of two or more simple statements, then it is said to be a compound statement or a compound proposition. I am giving an example right now. If it rains, then the school may be closed. So this is a compound statement as it is obtained by connecting two simple statements. What are these two simple? It rains. This is the one statement. This is one statement because in all it is giving you some meaning. It rains. So it's an assertion. So it's a declarative sentence. So second thing is, if you want to take the school may be closed. The school may be closed. Now I have taken two statements from a single statement. So a statement is a combination of two or more simple statements. So this is a compound statement or a compound proposition. Okay. And it is these two statements are being joined by if and then. If and then. So this is a compound statement. And it is not always that it will be only if and then. It can be or, connection can be through or, connection can be through and, like this. Right? So we have component statement, these two parts. So simple statement which form a compound statement is called as substatement or substatements or component statements. So as I said, we can use and or also to combine two statements to make it as a compound statement. So now we are talking about basic correctives. As I introduced and or, we are talking about basic correctives. For example, and or. We can add certain statements with and or. For example, or and. And we also call it as centennial connectives. Or simply you can call them as connectives. Centennial, SENTENIAL, centennial connectives. Or you can also call it as simply connectives. So now we will see the truth and falsity of the compound statement depending upon the truth value of the component statement. Now we'll see that what this and or means to us. And what does it give us in terms of true and false? So if you use or, the situation will be different, the answer will be different. That is, it may be true, it may be false, and also it will change the scenario. So we'll try to see the truth table also, that we generally see in the digital electronics, etc. Okay, let us start. The word and the word or we are discussing. These are centennial connectives or simply connectives. Let me write a sentence. The earth, now I'm talking about and. Okay, the earth is round and the sun is cold. Now I have a statement. The earth is round and the sun is cold. So the first statement, the earth is round, is first, and is the centennial connective. And the second statement is the sun is cold. So I can divide these two into different statement. P, the earth is round, and Q, as the sun is cold. The earth is round and the sun is cold. Okay. So now we have two statements which are making a compound statement using and. So what we want to highlight here is these two statements are unrelated. But in normal language, normal speaking, you cannot have this. That I don't have money because Ambani is getting richer. These are somewhat unrelated. Or I didn't have food because the train didn't run today. So whenever we speak that this sentence should have some meaning. But here in mathematics, these sentences are statements, and these statements can combine and they cannot have any meaning. We are just interested in true and false. Earth is round is true. Earth is round is true in mathematics, and the sun is cold is false. The earth is round is true. The sun is cold is false as per mathematics. So how do we give the result of this compound statement? Because there is a centennial which is and. So whenever we have and, one statement is P, one is Q. So what is the result of this statement in terms of true and false? So I am just saying 9 is greater than 4. I am just taking one more example, then I will give you the truth table. So 9 is greater than 4 and 2 is less than 7. So 9 is greater than 4 and R is 2 less than 7. So if you see that 9 is greater than 4 is true. 7 is greater than 2 or 2 is less than 7, true. So we have true, true. So in and, whenever both are true, then only you will get true, otherwise always false. This is very important. Both the parts should always be true, then only you will get true, otherwise you will get always false. For example, P and Q, I am ANDing them. P and Q are two statements and we are taking AND of these two statements. So we have T, true, false, false, TF, TF. So now whenever we have both true in AND connective, always true, otherwise always false. That is, all three connection give you false. Only connection in AND when both these statements are giving you true. And there is one more important connective which is OR. What is going on here? It's a compound statement. You are going to have a compound statement. And the connective or centennial here will be OR. So the sun shines or it rains. The sun shines or it rains. Now if you see, these two statements are somewhat related, but we are not actually talking about English here. We are talking about two parts, two statements which has given us the compound statement. So P is the sun shines, the Q is it rains. It rains. So when we combine these two statements, what do we see? The OR will give you a result of false when both are false. Otherwise always true. Did you get the idea? And will only give you true when both are true. And OR will give you false when both are false. Otherwise always true. So if I say P and Q, and these two are different statements, now I'm trying to add or them. So same truth table, let me make it TTFF, the true, false, just to make because 2 can have 4 combination. 2 values can have 4 2 to the power 4. So now I'm doing P or Q. So this will give you T, true is true, but all other will also be true, except when both are false. Only 2 false will give you false in OR, and 2 true will give you true in AND. Okay. In OR, we are talking about 2 more things. We are talking OR as inclusive OR, and we are talking about exclusive OR. Okay. In English, it's different, but here we are talking about statement. So if we say P or Q, but not both. P or Q, but not both. This is exclusive OR. But P or Q or both. P or Q or both is inclusive OR, but exclusive OR means P or Q, but not both. That is, exactly one of the 2 alternatives, it's exclusive OR. And when we say at least one of the 2 alternatives, we call it as inclusive OR. So in all this discussion, we are only going to talk about inclusive OR unless otherwise I specify it. Right? So exclusive OR we are not going to take. I am just telling you exclusive OR, that is when P or Q but not both, that is exactly one of the 2 alternatives, is exclusive OR. Okay. One more thing let me tell you. In electronics we call it as De Morgan law. But just to complete, if we have P and Q, so when we apply negation on OR, and what will happen when we apply negation on AND? So if P or Q you are doing, and you are saying I want to negate now, so it will be not P and not Q. That is what has happened. If I want to negate this, I have to change OR to and P to negative P and Q to negative Q. Okay. Second thing, now I want to negate the AND, that is not of P and Q. So what will happen? Same thing, and it will be replaced by OR. P will be not P and Q will be not Q. This is negation of the centennial or compound statement. Okay. So now next discussion will be on quantifiers and various other things which we are going to take, important for this thing, mathematical reasoning. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.